Good evening. This is Adam Freeman, and I'm the group admin for Red Dirt Road Customs and Classics, and I have a small towing business in Ozark County, Missouri. Last week, our current sheriff posted a emergency order restricting or notifying the citizens that due to budgetary constraints, he was unable to police our county in accordance with, I guess, his oath of office. And seeing that I'm a retired military officer, and I found out that they had acquired 1033 law enforcement DLA excess property in over $1 million. I kind of started doing a little bit of back research on the DLA site, and I posted underneath the Ozark County Emergency Order, Sheriff's Department order, that equipment and some questions. Since then, that post has basically went viral, and he was interviewed by both television stations via the weekend. There was a lot of negative comments, a lot of positive comments made, and so I was also contacted by other friends of mine, and I was even stopped, on a family outing down on the river, and some people talked to me, and basically those folks supported my position and applauded that I brought to light that they had acquired an MRAP and an up-armored Humvee. And my basic comment to the Sheriff's Department at the time was, if we are restricted on funds for just basic police force response to any crime that's not a violent misdemeanor or felony, they weren't going to take a report in person or send a deputy out, that they would have to call and you'd have to come up to the office. And so I kind of felt like that was a little bit not living up to the legacy of a lot of the veterans that I've served with, and a lot of the veterans that have died on foreign soil. So I decided that weekend, after thinking long and hard and really painting up the courage, to go to the commissioner meeting and voice my concerns in person to the sheriff and the commissioners about the usage and cost and maintenance and training and all that stuff with that high-end equipment, and that's what I did. So I went to the meeting. I think I got there about 8:50 in the morning, and the meeting was 2 hours long. There was quite a bit of conversation that occurred. The sheriff gave his PowerPoint presentation, basically going over the past 3 years of statistics with law enforcement styles, type statistics, how many traffic stops, drug arrests, et cetera, and he's exponentially increased the contacts with the public via traffic stops in our county. A lot of people have been pulled over for a lot of things, and honestly, the sheriff walked in there, and I can basically quote what he said. He said, "If I have probable cause for a license plate light, I'm going to stop you, and we're gonna continue our policing with that mentality and attitude at the county level." And the conversation wasn't aggressive for anybody inside of there. My big concern was that this appearance to the public is a lack of safety, and because of my military experience both in Afghanistan with nation building and Iraq, and I kind of understood that that appearance to the public is very important. Presence patrols and all that stuff is a big part of how we have security, especially here in the United States, and then starting out in those young nations over there. We really, I really got to see how that's affect in 2003, specifically from just, right after the Taliban, basically the vacuum of security from the Taliban to the Afghan militia force, and then to the Afghan National Army and the Afghan National Police that later took over. And the Afghan militia force was the first part, and they were basically paid mercs, and they helped us out over there. So I mean, I have a little bit of security experience, which I'm sure the sheriff and all the deputies do too. Not that I'm discounting their tactical or strategic response. I just was voicing my concerns about the budgetary constraints and the usage of this equipment. We were in there approximately 2 hours, and I'm making this video basically to ensure that there isn't any reprisals against me in the future for voicing my concerns in a political manner and putting them in a precarious position in front of the commissioners and asking hard questions to commissioners, because the commissioners actually authorized them to acquire this equipment. The sheriff himself did say that he did acquire some of this equipment to sell, and I know that's not what the program was set up to be. After discussing with my family that were law enforcement officers and that had actually acquired this equipment back, previous many years ago, had done this same grant program, and I'm knowing that I'm a military officer, that some of this stuff isn't stuff they can sell. I knew that it was a little bit, on the not so up and up side. I made some phone calls to confirm it, and reading the manuals that govern that program. And of course I found that, you can't necessarily ask for something from Uncle Sugar and then turn around and sell it, immediately after it comes off the property book. So, I'm basically making this video. I'm going to start a new channel. We're going to start our own independent media organization here in Ozark County. I think we're going to call it Ozark County Truths, or Ozark County Truth. Our local newspaper was there in that meeting, and when I did get home that afternoon, I called the local paper to confirm that they were going to put my name in the paper, that I attended the meeting. One reason why I wanted that is for my own protection, that I attended, and everybody would know that I was there raising and voicing my concerns about this viral emergency order that the sheriff had posted. So we're going to do some independent journalism with YouTube. I think that this is warranted at this point, because the majority of the meeting wasn't covered in the newspaper article, and they definitely didn't post in there that I attended the meeting like they said they would after I called. And we're going to start this new channel. I'm going to post this to my Facebook group. I know that it's not political. Basically, my Facebook group is documenting mine and friends' industrial, classic automobiles, and getting them out of the woods and saving them in sorts and restoring them. But I think this time that we made our own YouTube channel for Ozark County, and have some truth that come out of what's been going on down here, and get some audience out there with the public and the voters, and see what they think of what's going on and how this is going to affect us. So I hope everybody here could I'll post a link to the new channel, and then we'll start tomorrow with our interviews and talking to people. We'll have we're going to come up with a set of questions that we're going to ask to kind of get the general public populace on how this has all been going down. I thank everybody, and I hope everybody has a good evening.